From this direction, the rice field looks very green and very wonderful. But it is time for the water to begin to stand in the fields. So what I have done today is I have opened up the valve on this side. Normally I'm doing it over on the other side down the napier grass. But today I want to open here so that we can begin to have the water to run around and make ready to overflow the field. It looks nice and it looks wonderful. It depends in comparison to what we have done for it. So we are excited about this. But today we actually have for several days now, 5 days, something like that, bad news about Mr. Brown. But I will go home and show you that. So it is time to talk about Mr. Brown. About a week ago he began to have problems to open the mouth, and I asked Naluang to please go and talk with the veterinarians about it, or call the goat people. And we have been talking with the goat people. We have been talking with people around us who know something about goats. The yellow thing is nothing, it's just tape when we give the drop. But as you can see, he's still alive, he's still moving a little bit. But the way he is lying on the table is not fun. He is very, very stiff and very, very thin. But you can see here that he is breathing. But right now I begin to see that the hair of the skin are beginning to come off. In the beginning we did not know exactly what it is that it was, and people around us everywhere, they came up with funny ideas as to what it was. But I told Naluang several times about the food problem, the mouth problem, but she didn't talk with anybody about that part of the problem. Instead it was all the other things that people are used to have problems with their goats. So when he began to get what I call the cramps, become stiff, very stiff. The worst is up here on the back, that his muscles are very, very tight. I've been trying to figure out what it is that makes it that he is cramping up. I saw that the first time the other day when I brought him and Mrs. Brown to the field. Mrs. Brown is very fine and okay. It's just Mr. Brown. So when I brought him to the field and he got entangled in the barbed wire that was lying on the ground, he could not get up by himself and he was kind of stiffening out. And that's what I told my wife that she should talk about. But because she did not explain what I told her to explain, then she got the medicine from the other things that goats have problems with, which is kind of fine. But then the last time when I went to the doctor, together with Naluang, the one that are working in the same office, the same building that Naluang is working in Chompra, then he phoned one of his friends who has a lot of goats. And through that we found out that we better give him tetanus. So right now we are injecting him with tetanus shots. This is our medicine cabinet for the goats. And this one is the one that we are using, the kanamycin injections, kanamycin sulfate. So in that way we are trying to cure what is wrong. And Mr. Brown has been lying like this for 3-4 days now, without any ability to move or drink or eat, not even stand by himself. So it is very, very bad, and I must confess I'm very, very sad about this. And my latest question is, if the people that we bought the goats from, if they knew about the tetanus shots. Because when I Google on YouTube, I find a lot of answers to this problem, and that is that goats need to be vaccinated against tetanus, just like people. But the goats need to be vaccinated at least one time a year in accordance with those people. So, as it is right now, we don't really know how to get out of this situation. He's still awake, he's still breathing, so we really need to find out what to do. This is the second day of making the movie, because we had visitors coming to us yesterday. The people that we bought the goats from, they came to visit yesterday because they knew about this situation with Mr. Brown. So we were very happy that they came. That proved to us that they're trying to do the best they can for the goats, for their own goats and for our goats. And Mr. Brown is still breathing, and you can see a lot of clothes around because last night, after injecting and giving the drop, that we cleaned out under Mr. Brown. We lifted him off the table and put him upstanding. And while we did that, then the goat's owner came to visit. So that is very good. And they showed a lot of interest in what we are doing and what is going on with Mr. Brown. And they promised us that if we don't have Mr. Brown to cover the girl, then Mrs. Brown would be free to go and visit their ram or their buck and to make the baby again. But after injecting the medicine yesterday, that I sprayed the whole of of 2 milliliter. It's like he became more active, moving around a whole lot more, also later in the night. And right now he seems more attentive to what is going on around him. He's responding with his eyes, and he's moving things, ears and the body. So there you see it again. So there is the hope that we really can get him up on the legs again, but I need something to happen very, very fast and very, very soon, because I'm a little bit worried that without food for many days now, that he will not have anything to live on. And when they came yesterday, I was very emotional in seeing them and having them here to come and talk with us. So that was very good for me. a very good thing. Thank you.